Hello YouTube, welcome back to another reaction video. And we're going to continue reacting to Norway. Yesterday I did my first reaction. It was to their kindergartens and letting the kids out in the snow and all that. Getting used to those circumstances. And this one is something a bit more serious. It's where it maybe doesn't go so well growing up. Prisons. How they are different from America's. So I'm from Australia, but pretty familiar with how prison is in America. Not saying it from my experience, but general knowledge. Let's see the differences. But if you want to see more reactions to Norway's life, and I've found it just very interesting so far. So, give me some more suggestions, which videos you want me to react to, but let's get into it.
Staying in a maximum security prison is not a normal life, but that's also an ambition, to reduce the feeling of being in a prison as much as possible.
And in here you have my cell. So I have DVD and movies from there.
Oof.
The basic question that we ask ourselves.
It looks like a bedroom. It looks like a bedroom. You got your... It's like... Oh, wow, okay.
Norway.
Let's see more.
What kind of neighbor do we really want? Because they could move into my neighborhood and they could move into your neighborhood. So I think this is an important question to ask ourselves, really. That should have an influence on how we work inside prisons.
The US has the world's largest incarcerated population, with 655 out of every 100,000 people behind bars. That's staggering. And there's a lot of reasons for that we won't get into. It's a whole different, not different conversation. It will be on subject, but the reasons, for that. You could go on for a whole video of its own. Norway incarcerates 60 out of every 100,000.
It's not for the prison to judge.
That's impressive.
Or to punish. We have to interact and be human. I think it's as simple as that.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah. So they change things.
The most important thing is how we treat people. This is the 4 key elements.
See, that's a lot. See, a lot of other countries are set in their ways and they don't change things. And I guess it is comparing to America. And I feel like I'm in between. It's because I'm not from America, I'm from Australia, but aware of everything that happens there. It's like, I don't want to speak too much on it, but I feel they are set in their ways and don't change much. Things that lead to crimes and deaths and you might get an idea what I'm trying to allude to, but with weapons and whatnot. But I
would like you to remember the principle of normality, the focus that we have in Norway on humanity inside prisons, what we call dynamic security, and the emphasis that we put on reintegration into society.
I would say the main goal of the trip is for inspiration to go bold back in the United States.
Let's talk a little bit more about Halden then. How do we work and what are the unique things about us?
Okay. The world's most humane prison. Yeah.
And in here you have my cell. So I have DVD and movies from there. Here we have a real toilet with a shower and everything. You know, you can see everybody have their key, so they can open or close the doors whenever they want.
Even though it's nice here, it's still not a summer camp. But I would like you to, look beyond the facilities. It's not the most important thing.
So this is the cell. Every cell is similar. And here we have the kitchen, where I used to prepare the food. You can see here, it's inside here.
That's a really important principle in Norway,
Wow.
which talks about that taking someone's liberty away and taking them away from their family, away from their community, that in of itself is the punishment. So life inside prisons should look as normal to life in the community as possible.
And
I
in
get that
here,
point, yeah.
You have this washing room. You can wash the clothes and
Wow.
dry it.
Staying in a maximum security prison is not a normal life.
And I notice you're just wearing normal clothes.
Yeah. That's allowed. You can wear whatever you want.
See, this makes them when they get released, it's not much to adjust to. I'm sure people who have been in prison in America then go back to real life. I've heard people talk about it, to adjusting. This reduces that. It reduces the amount of adjusting they need to do, because your life is still it's still going to be different. It's going to be different, but it's a lot more similar. Your living conditions are going to be much more closer as compared to America.
But that's also an ambition, to reduce the feeling of being in a prison as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's the normality principle.
How you can normalize the correctional setting for individuals to transition out. Bigger challenge in our system, but definitely something to think about. The commissary, the stores, where an individual actually gets to go to a real store and pick out commissary items. I think that's a good adds to the normalization.
We think this is the most important part. Dynamic security sounds like a very fancy thing, but it's really just having a normal interpersonal relations between the officers, or all staff really, and the inmates.
Okay.
Every inmate has a primary contact officer, and every officer had have 2 or 3 inmates that he is the contact officer for. That was the ambition, from guard to also be a social worker.
Wow. So that's a big difference. That's a big difference there.
At the academy: ethics, psychology, communication technique, criminology, law, human rights. Of course, they do learn self-defense. They do learn extraction techniques. They do learn to work as a team, but that's not the major components. It's about how do you treat people respectfully.
I like that. Yeah.
Work as a team, but that's not the major components. It's about how do you treat people respectfully.
That is said, beautifully. How you treat people respectfully. That goes, treating people with respect, that will take you such a long way. That is very important, to keep it simple. And as a whole human race, we would be a lot better if more people did so. That's just, it was just a simple sentence, but a lot of meaning and truth behind it. Okay.
My family always think that I just play games, because that's why I like very much to play games. So
I feel that.
often play cards and stuff with inmates.
I know in some states it's forbidden and will have consequences for you if you interact with inmates as a staff member. Quite the opposite here. We expect and demand an interaction between staff and inmates.
It's kind of friendship with someone, and to see the progress and see the changes, that's the best way to job.
The contact officer is, for example, sitting down with you and making you a
He's got a Barcelona
plan.
shirt.
So what for
fine.
steps by steps to become a free man?
From day one.
Yeah.
So the officers need to know everything about the system and give advice to the inmates about the future, what steps should they take.
photos of my daughter, big love of my life. I've been here for 1.5 years, but I was transferred from a prison in Brazil. You can compare that to come from hell to heaven. So it's a big difference.
So they do, this is one specific prison here, and they've still got, this is not like over the country, they've still got tougher prisons in other areas?
The guards, first of all. In Brazil, the guards are...
Or is he said Brazil? Was he saying, I thought it was like maybe like another country. If that's correct, if I'm getting that right.
More you feel bad and weakness, the more they feel good. Here you have the guards, you know, they was very kind to me when I came. They are still very kind. We can speak, you know, they treat me as a human being. In Brazil, you get treated like an animal.
I've been working here since the opening in 2010, and I've been working in other prisons before that also. It's not for the prison to judge or to punish, because the police catch the guy, goes to the court, and it gets a sentence perhaps, and then it comes to prison with that. We have to interact and be human.
Again, I love how they put their words.
We have to interact and be human.
We have to interact and be human. Yes, these are like, sound so simple and obvious things, but it's the case where a lot of things are not like that, especially within prisons. Yeah, okay. I love that. Because it speaks to more than just this environment. It can speak to a lot of environments. Not just prisons, but life in general, people in general. Yeah, you can take a lot from that. Yeah.
I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It really is, because we can create walls between us, but that doesn't help anything.
Oh, another line, yes.
We have to interact.
Yes.
Without approaching people with respect and dignity, it's impossible to sit down the next day and talk about his future, because he will not have any trust in you. So in order to, you know, work well with reintegration and future planning, etc., there has to be, you know, a foundation there of trust between the staff and the inmates.
100%.
I've visited a lot of prisons in the United States as well, and somehow I don't have the same kind of feeling of, you know, relief of getting out of an impressive environment that I've experienced coming out of those prisons. I think that says something about how different the environment is here.
I think I have big opportunities here to prepare myself for the life after.
Yeah, like, just how I've looked at this guy, like, he doesn't, give you that impression of your typical inmate. Like, he actually looks like he's all right mentally, but that could just be, how he seems. But yeah, he seems like, if he was in the real world, he'll be good. He can get a job, and he'll be good, take care of his family. And you could see that. Like, he just looks like your average person.
Prison. I thought there is still hope, there is still opportunities, you know, to get a good life after getting
Exactly.
out. So, yeah.
That's it. I love that. And with this being my second video, it was two different things, but there's something similar about it. From the kindergarten and to prison, they're two completely different things, but it's how you treat the humans, whether it be children, whether it be adults. It's all how, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's how you treat people, and that's going to be reflected in how they are and how they can change as well. Like, that's so big, and it's just seeing, it's that mentality, what I'm seeing of Norway, and I love that completely. And that's It's how you function, how you operate in how the country operates. It's so big. It's so big in terms of being, developing, or just having good people, good humans, and then how the country runs, how the humanity is in their country, and it goes a long way, as shown. So I'm going to leave it there. Give me some more Norway suggestions to react to. Yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing their lifestyle. Even though prison is something not to glorify so much, but it just shows you people go down in a bad path. You don't know what situations they get in, something illegal, but to recover and to get back and have a good life, like he was saying at the end. I enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts. Get your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the very next one.